are about to get real nasty up in here. Oh my god!
I'm burning! Oh, Jesus, I'm burning!
How many crow were then?
Dear God. Dear God in heaven.
The range on that.
It's so beautiful.
They taste like burning! Ew, David!
You know, I just came here to hit dingers and have a good time.
Hello,
Plum here, g'day champions, how's it going? And welcome back to another Division 2 build video. Today we're going to be checking out one of the most broken and overpowered builds in the current game.
Yeah, boy.
Are you a player that's not using the seasonal modifiers? Well, you should be. And if you're already playing with those awesome and amazing modifiers, then you need this build in your loadout list. With just one click, you will be cooking NPCs.
If you smell burnt toast, chances are you're having a stroke.
Nah, you smelling toast because we in the kitchen cooking.
Have you ever wanted to run a disgusting build that melts NPCs in seconds?
Yes! 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 Yes!
If you answered yes, then this is that build. But before the build itself, welcome back to all you amazing subscribers. If you're new to the channel and you're enjoying the content, make sure that you smash that subscribe button. If everyone can take a second to engage with the video, a like, a share, a comment, it's all going to help with the magic and the wizardry of the YouTube algorithm. We're setting a 200 like goal on this video. Reaching that goal would be absolutely amazing. If you did want to support me and the channel just a little bit further, remember we have channel memberships. Click the join button below to see all the perks. And if you want to catch me live in action, jump on over and drop a follow on Twitch. All the links for all my other socials are in the description below. Now, before we go over the build, I want to take some time to explain the modifier that you need to make this build so broken and so overpowered. Microwave coils is the modifier that you must have equipped. This unlocks after completing tier 7 of the journey, so if you haven't yet completed the journey, get stuck in. Otherwise you won't have the satisfaction, nay, the pleasure of running this build. Microwave coils is a passive modifier. Up to 4 enemies affected by a pulse now receive a burn status effect. You gain 5% bonus momentum for every affected hostile. There's a few different ways that you can trigger that pulse and the burn, but we wanted to be super cheesy with this PvE build to proc this often and prolong that burn duration as much as possible. This setup is fantastic for crowd control and chunking NPCs' armor, making clearing any content really easy. There's a couple of other modifiers that work really well with this setup too. The Reaper Scanner, enemies scanned with a pulse have a 25% chance of receiving a blacklist mark. While blacklisted NPCs are stronger and do hit harder, killing them will give you more momentum stacks, meaning you get stronger too. And Explosive Expertise. Explosive skill kills reduce your cooldowns of that skill by 30% if you score a multi-kill. Hopefully you're going to be able to trigger this often to help reduce the cooldown of your Seeker Mines. And our active modifier is Overdrive. Getting more weapon damage, skill damage, and rate of fire, it's just great. And when activated, this is going to instantly max out our momentum bar, meaning we have more weapon damage, more skill damage, reload speed, rate of fire, and that crazy movement speed.
I'm fast as fuck, boy.
Righto, so now that we've covered the modifiers, let's look at the build. Oh my god, it's a skill build.
Am I sick or am I not sick? I don't get it.
It is very rare to see a skill build on this channel, and it is the second one in a row. But trust me when I say that this is one of the most fun skill builds that you will ever run. No reds, no blues, 6 skill tiers, and we are very, very squishy at 726k armor. We have 3 pieces of China Light, 1 electric, 1 golem, and the Vile Mask. We've squeezed as much yellow onto this build as we possibly can. Status effect is our main key, however we did want our secondary skill to do a bit of damage as well, so we're stacking skill damage and explosive damage. Before sticking with the 3 pieces of China Light, I tried out 3 pieces of Wyvern, however, the skill duration I didn't really like. Kinda weird to hear me say it, I know, but hear me out. With too much skill duration on your build, that pulse lasts too long, which means you can't pulse again to set more hostiles on fire. If a hostile's still pulsed and you pulse again, it's not going to do anything. So getting into the habit of pulsing, setting everyone on fire, waiting for them to be depulsed or no longer pulsed, then pulsing again, that is key to get the most out of this build. For the specialization, you could definitely go a few different ways, but on this one, I've gone with Demolitionist. Explosive Ordnance gives us 10% increased explosive damage. This affects the explosive grenades, skills, and effects. Now, because this will increase our concussion grenades damage, in turn, that will increase those vile ticks. Also, not to mention, it'll make those cluster seeker mines go boom a little bit louder. But you could use Technician to get a free skill tier, which means then you can spec into weapon damage or armor. And also Technician's going to give you plus 10% skill damage. Or you could go completely left of center and go with Survivalist, because any target that will be under a status effect will be able to take 10% bonus damage from anyone in your team. Have a play around with all 3 and work out which you prefer. For our primary weapon, I'm going with the Capacitor, and this one has not been expertised. Capacitor's got damage to armor and damage to targets out of cover on it. And the talent for this one, shooting enemies builds up stacks to cap at 40. Each stack grants 1.5% skill damage, which is 60% total. Also, the great thing about the Capacitor is each skill tier that you have, you get 7.5% weapon damage. So on this setup, that's 45% weapon damage. These secondary in your pistol, definitely try a few different combos out. I sort of just left these how they were because they were on a previous build. Mechanical Animal to overcharge would be a good option. Even a talent like Perpetuation, which increases your skill damage and your status effect on the next status applied, will increase this even more and be really, really filthy. For the gear on the build, first up is our Vile Mask, and this comes with fixed attributes, so we can't do anything about it. It's got a skill tier, status effect, has a protection, and we've gone with a skill haste mod. The talent here is called Toxic Delivery. Status effects also apply a damage over time debuff for 10 seconds. Total damage dealt is equal to 50% of your concussion grenade's damage and increased by your status effect attributes. This is what I was saying before. Running Demolitionist increases that base concussion grenade, so in turn increases those ticks. Because we're heavily stacking into status effect on this, again, it will increase those ticks. Triggering this and the burn all at the same time, just by pulsing, is absolutely disgusting, but so much fun. For our chest piece, we've gone with one piece of Electric, which is going to give us 10% status effect. We've got a skill tier, skill damage, status effect, and a skill haste mod. The talent that I've gone for here is Glass Cannon. All damage that you deal is amplified by 25%. However, all damage you take is also amplified by 50%. I don't know, a lot of people don't like Glass Cannon altogether. It can be a little bit difficult to play, but on this, I think it is your best option. For our holster, it's the first of 3 pieces of China Light. China Light gives us 15% explosive damage, 20% skill haste, and 25% status effect. For the attributes, it's a skill tier, status effect, and skill damage. The knees are the second piece of China Light, again, skill tier, status effect, and skill damage. Now for the gloves on this, they look tricky to get, but don't stress, I crafted these ones. Golan gloves for another 10% status effect, skill tier, status effect, and skill damage. Now hear me out, champions, a lot of people are going to say, why not the firm handshakes? Well, they come with 16% status effect. That's it. We have 20% on this one item.
I am better!
And the last item on the build is our backpack, which is our third and final piece of China Light. Guess what? Skill tier, skill damage, status effect, and skill haste. Now, the backpack talent, we have opted for Creeping Death. When you apply a status effect, it also applies to all enemies within 8 meters of that target, and it's only got a 15-second cooldown. This is absolutely filthy. Because the microwave coil modifier can only apply burn to up to 4 NPCs, this will increase that amount, making it very good for spawn trapping, crowd control, whatever you want to call it. Now, if you didn't want to do that, fine. A talent like Shock and Awe, tech support, all those sorts of things would work great here. But we wanted to be as disgusting and as filthy as possible. Now that's going to sum up the weapons in the build. Now if there is anything throughout this video that hasn't really made sense, do ask me in a comment below. More than happy to try and re-clarify and help out where I can. When it comes to your skills on this, the primary skill that we're looking at here is our Scanner Pulse. This is going to proc our modifiers of the Reaper Scanner and the Microwave Coil. In doing so, that's going to blacklist NPCs, it's going to set NPCs on fire, Creeping Death's going to kick in, which is going to set more NPCs on fire, and all along, the Vile Mask is doing an insane amount of tick damage. And then for our secondary, we've got the Cluster Seeker Mines. We yeet these out, they blow up. Hopefully we'll be triggering that modifier, which decreases the cooldowns on these, and we get to go again. Pulse, burn, tick, yeet, seekers, bang. Pretty simple stuff. Now we're just going to quickly dart to the outside of the shooting range here, just so you can see the true cooldowns on this build. For the Scanner Pulse, it has a 12-second cooldown, however it does have quite a lengthy duration, 20 seconds. But taking a look at that duration, that's what I was saying before. You're going to get your pulse back way before the duration's over. If NPCs are still pulsed and you pulse again, you won't be applying that burn. That's how it's worked in my experience, so that's the information I'm passing on to you guys. And for the Seeker Mines here, it is quite a hefty looking cooldown, 30 seconds. Hopefully you'll be able to get a couple of sneaky kills with this and that modifier will reduce this cooldown. The Cluster Seekers is just what I've opted for because I have spec'd into that explosive damage, but play around with a few different skills, see what you prefer. So that's a build, champions, a disgusting skill build that melts NPCs in seconds. It's fantastic for crowd control and chunking armor fast.
I fucking love it!
Make sure that you finish your journey so you can unlock the microwave coil modifier and use this setup. The build's very simple to make, so goddamn easy to use, and it's a lot of bloody fun, regardless of the content that you want to play. So what do you reckon? Are you going to be a champion and have a crack at this build? What modifications would you make? Let me know down below. Thanks to everyone for tuning in, and make sure that you show your support by smashing the like button on this video, and if you haven't yet, make sure that you subscribe. Everyone's support is always greatly appreciated. Remember to stay frosty, keep looting, keep shooting, and giving them hell. I really hope to catch you all in the next one. I'm Plum out.